against, of course, the run-of-the-mill swiping SG Pro's map pick. We will see what they can do to prevent anything happening here on Dust 2, but it is Soar's home turf playing ground here that they're walking into.
Yeah, that's the big problem for a team like SG Pro. I'm not sure if they're aware how good SAW are on this Dust 2 map. I've seen them play, and they're actually a pretty solid team on it. And SG Pro, considering they've played Dust 2 two times the past 3 months, they actually get a win against Hellraisers, which is, it's an okay-ish win, but they ended up losing to Luminar 16-4, so I don't know. Heading into this second map, it feels like SAW have got one hell of an advantage to close things out 2-0 in the best of 3, but we'll have to wait and see. The players here have SAW investing into utilities, some smoke grenades. The flashbangs are here. Let's see how they'll try to use them. As for SG Pro, not even the defuse kit, straight up 5-man armor setup.
Very interesting the way this one's set up. SG Pro, like you say, typically we do see a defuse kit on this sort of round, but not starting to kick things off. They're going for brute force here. SAW, on the other hand, fairly standard slower round toward A long. Still going for the early peaks though, see if they can get a frag or two. A swing out there by Roofire though, he'll get away with 2. Backs away safely, damage done to Roman as well. This should be a very easy pistol round. Senator will find a big chunk of his health gone already, but when you look at players like Roman down to just a single point of health, looks like SG Pro should be and will be picking up the pistol round here on the CT side.
Wow, they're not even allowing the SAW players to move an inch forward in long. That is a very decisive victory for SG Pro. Very well played from their part. Some good shots from Roofire, Senator as well chiming in, and of course Kisa to end it all. 1-0 is going to be the start here for SG Pro, and I'd say that in this scenario, here in a map like Dust 2, they need to get every single advantage they can. So the pistol round is absolutely a great start, but we do see, oh, Arky.
Wow.
It's so difficult to hit that shot. 1 of 1,000, but Arky, he hits it. That's perfect. And SG Pro, considering they won the round, to be careful here. SAW has gone for an investment of their own, and Duray losing quite a bit of health here in middle. We'll consider just to back away.
Gotta be very careful for a round like this where SG Pro are in a very tough predicament now, losing health and losing the first player. We've seen so many teams falter to this sort of move, and well, as Roofire goes for a short peek dry, I'm not too sure what other result he expected out of that, to be honest. His head taken clean off here as Senator already spotted. Will be able to get the, well, I was about to say refrag, but yeah, finally does. Sight looking unretakeable though. Roman closing out Fame down to just Dire and Senator, and with damage already done, seems like it might be a save out of these two. And SAW, they get the round straight back in reply. First on the board already, and SG Pro, not a good way to start, not on the CT side especially.
Yeah, this is not great. This is just really dissatisfying for SG Pro, but this is the one thing I like to say, that nowadays winning the pistol round doesn't guarantee that second round win. Sometimes winning the second round becomes top priority for either team, really. The one that's just won the pistol round, or the one that on the back of the loss has gone for the force buy. Yeah, SG Pro, you're gonna have to reinvest in this one because their economy is in dire straits. So Senator has actually enough money for the M4, which is something I did not expect to see. Just enough to use that M4. The other players, of course, pistols, SMG for Roofire, Kisa, and Scout, were grandizing about. But look at SAW, very early long control. And this is the one time, it seems like. And the thing is, why not? They're so good at taking over doing against some of the other teams as well at 9-5, and it just shows so good. Senator though, good kill here against the Dodo. Its second frag being picked up. Now then, is the opportunity for SAW to try and get that bomb down, but the player's still inflicting damage. Gotta be careful here, SAW. You might also lose to some bare pistols.
Wasn't too sure why Fame rattled off a shot there. Very, very interesting round there from SG. Forced by a round that they take. Eco round to come through now, though, as SG Pro. This should be a fairly solid 3-1 start. But even so, this one is where things might be able to kick off in the next upcoming buy round. There is, well, I think just enough money on Kisa to be able to afford the AWP into the next, but you look at Dust 2, the fact that they have won 13 out of 17, I think, is very overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
You look at players, oh, well, you look at stats, and 61% distributed 1 rounds on the T side just shows that SG Pro might be in for a little bit of a tougher time. Good return kill, though, into lower tunnels. He's getting themselves an AK to play with, but Mutarist good positioning. Able to work for a first one, second as well, despite Senator being heavily tagged. Maybe a second AK to be retrieved, but Saw should be denying that opportunity. 3-1 is looking likely. A little bit, I wouldn't say more expensive, because T-sides do make money very quickly, but just not as strengthy. You don't want to really lose 2 players in a round like that, but it's a victory. They won't care. 3-1 on the board before the buy round of SG Pro.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, on the T side, you want to make sure these rounds, and these runs in particular, where the opponents are basically on just USPs and maybe a few upgraded pistols, you want to make sure that these ones are as clean as possible. They end up losing to 2 players, which isn't as bad as losing 3, as they can still get some kind of cash flow going. But yeah, it is going to be 3-1. Finally, we're going to be getting into the real meat and potatoes of this situation. The gun rounds will finally take place. And Saw will have real AK-47s, the op in the hands of Stododo, and SG Pro on the other hand will also get the M4s out, the AWP in the hands of Kisa. I think Senator is opting to go with the AK-47. Yeah, there we go. So the purchases are looking very solid for both teams here. Mutarist, very early utility usage here in the middle. Looks like he's going to try to maybe challenge the player here, but Fame does back away because of the Molotov.
So start to get this sort of run of rounds on the T side. This is where SG Pro really will become a very limited squad. Ooh, Roofire taking a big chunk of damage in the Molotov down long there. Dropping down to 64. Arky has been inflicted. Side of that. A long position as well. Senator, great use of the angle there. Catches Muterius on his little head peek up towards short. That is not a good start here right now for the side as Roofire comes and wraps up a second kill as well. Down to a 5-on-3 already. Smokes down short, but with no refrags. They've got every single player -1 of SG Pro watching this position as they cross over. Plenty of damage at least inflicted. Senator not aware as Roman will get the return frag, but again, 4-on-3. Make it a 4-on-2. Kisa's angle perfect. So he's just being tagged up. It's an easy round for SG Pro. Second on the board and a very convincing one, actually. Fairly clean. Oh, just runs out of bullets. Has to back away. And an easy shutdown. 3-2. And SG Pro back to winning ways.
There we go. They get themselves a nice little win here. SG Pro, a gun round as early as possible. But as we now know, they saw more than enough to invest in a round like this. Stododo with AWP wouldn't have it any other way, and look at this, the spawns. Spawns are good enough for long take, and they'll be very quick here, a little bit quicker than Kisa can come up with, and he still gets the tag here in Roman. That's pretty sick. Very few teams, whenever they see the long take come in, even overstay their welcome, they try and even fire off the shot, but Kisa still goes for it and gets the tag on Roman. Pretty sick stuff.
Very nice so far. Roman tagged down. Double AWP is again a very deadly aspect so early into a game, actually. 6th round in and they've got 2 snipers posted. Even so, Stododo Ooh, the boost up there. Kisa was spotted. Now players beginning to attack here, but no, Dodo misses the shot there. Kisa are able to close him out. With Roman tagged as well, they do reclaim the AWP at least, but still walking into these angles dry. Not going to do any justice to the side of Saw in the slightest. Good, oh, I was about to say good refrag there, but the shot looked like it should have connected, didn't. SG Pro still not lost any health in this round so far. 5-on-3 with Roman tagged up is going to be difficult. Great boost already as well. Roofire takes the shot. And there it is. Finally a refrag, but too little too late it seems at this point.
Yeah, even if Jess wants to try and get with the bomb plant, he will be shut down. And that's exactly that. 8-3, a very close run of rounds. Neither team having a substantial edge this far, but this could also be just pinned down to the fact that it's early days in the first half. Neither team is supposed to have some kind of truly massive lead. Will it be the eco round coming in from Saw? A proper one at that. Don't expect to see any upgraded pistols anytime soon. Now, for SG Pro, it's an opportunity to get themselves the 4th round. You know, we're talking about the fact that, you know, in terms of the statistical data, SG Pro don't seem to be a great team on a map like Dust 2. Meaning Saw has got a very good opportunity to close things out 2-0, but one of the things that we have seen from SG Pro is a solid CT stat. Their CT stats seem to be incredibly nice. And Vertigo, they only managed to pick up those 6 rounds, sure, but there were a lot of moments where you're thinking, wow, SG, perfect opportunity to get themselves a few more. Good nade, though. Gets the kill here, and Roman in that position. And now they're going to begin to make their way into the side itself, and that's going to be a slaughter. Nice round here for SG Pro, keeping things clean and sweeping that one under the rug.
Light little lead for them, CT side. Now keeping themselves up to scratch. You can see the rebuy from Saw as well. Not even particularly too much of a open book right now. Dodo, he's only got a scout to play with compared to 2 AWPs on SG Pro. That is a very one-sided buy round that we've gotten. No AWP to challenge the CTs whatsoever. Well, money is a big issue at the moment. SG Pro with an opportunity to start stealing away rounds on the CT side. Rack up the tally before Thor have a chance to get back to the winning ways. Although, again, with the sort of 4 rifles, not take away from the fact that this might work out. Kisa takes a tag already. Scout there forcing him back, but Sinator, great first, beautiful second as well. A chance at 3, and of course he gets it. Short control completely held by SG Pro. And even with a single point of health left, he's not giving up here.
Oh, that's something I did not expect to see from Saw. You know, especially there in short, I wanted to see some of that utility usage, or at the very least, if there is a peak, make it a double peak, and you should have been able to eliminate Sinator just a little bit earlier, but you cannot deny it. Sinator, great shots coming in here. There's the scout tag, but it honestly doesn't guarantee a kill. A hold here in short, and there we go. It just goes to show that SG Pro do have that individual strength, which is incredibly important in a map like Dust 2. And Saw beginning to realize that we shouldn't give that many opportunities for a team like SG Pro. We gotta put our foot down, show him who's boss.
Yeah, this is one where, especially on this sort of map for Saw, and especially considering that statistically it's their T side that it dominates a lot more than the CT side. It is very, very interesting to see right now that SG Pro are actually having quite a bit of success here. Nevertheless, though, Thor will be setting up for a solid little eco half-by victory kind of setup. See if they can drag anything out of this, but likelihood is probably not with the way that SG Pro so far have been handling this CT side. Out towards mid they go. Fame instant rotate towards B. Will draft in Dire for the mid-door support. Fame already good for 1. It's Sinator again that wraps them all up. Roman will fall just thereafter as well. 6-3. SG Pro, they've doubled the lead of what Saw have right now, and sure, it's a rebuy to come, but positive start from the CT side.
This is going to be Saw trying to get this round on the board. If they don't, though, that could be potentially 7 or 8 rounds for SG Pro, which is something you're not expecting. Because I'd say, again, the strength of Saw is in their T sides. Well, let's see, though, we do see some of the flashes and smoke grenades already being thrown out in the middle, making sure a player like Fame can't really do anything. But that's the glimpse of the player. Goes in for the preemptive shot, but doesn't really get anything because of it. See the SG player, the SG players. The double peek is there, and somehow he takes a sweet time, but a few kills. Holds his ground, and Arcade, what a flashbang. And SG Pro deal with that one perfectly. They read them so well.
Absolutely perfect. Look at this run of rounds right now. 6 in a row for SG Pro. And Saw again, second time in the half, taking themselves a tactical timeout. We'll need to really slow things down here just to be careful right now, because this is really where SG Pro, despite being in a very awkward position on Vertigo and sure they'd lost the map, they are turning things around here on Dust 2. You can see again, money is a problem here for Saw. There's an Eagles, a couple of scouts in there as well. Looking like the CT side might already be able to take away round number 8, secure victory in the first half. Give them a solid opportunity at the moment to be able to work this one into their favor. But nevertheless, what will we see out of Saw? Kisa? Faster push. Gets a great first entry. Roman tagged up as well. That's a great start for SG Pro here. Pressure applied though as Just and Mutiris hold the line. Get a great couple of kills. Back to a 2v2, but Stadodo returns the favor. A chance for Saw to actually take this round now.
Oh, it's actually happening here for Saw. Not expecting too much out of a purchase like this, but now they got a winning ticket to this round. Dodo is a bit more safe there with AWP, as Rufar is trying to go for this one. It's a ballsy play from Rufar, but looks like he thinks he's got what it takes against an AWP and a scout. Gonna be rather difficult. Chucks in the Molotov. Now they know where he's coming from, and now if they miss their shots, oh, maybe there's a chance. Rufar does go down eventually. That was a nice attempt. Cannot deny that. That was a nice run of form, but Saw, imagine this. They're having a difficult time at winning these gun rounds, but when they go for the shoddy investments, these sort of partial buys or even eco ones, they have just won 2 of them. Interesting.
Pro giving up a little bit, like you say, of an easier round on what is a weaker buy for Saw, and now see what sort of effect that has. They'll go for that faster long control. The flash is absolutely perfect. Mutiris takes out. Surely the footsteps, no! Oh, he thought it was down in pit. That is so unfortunate. Be able to return the trade. He is down to only 2 points of health, but Rufire sold a dream, but gets away with it. With Roman now low, it's an easy refrag. Oh dear, SG Pro back to maybe winning ways at this point, as long control looked contested, but been able to snatch it right back here.
2v2 Arky, good frag. Ooh, this is interesting. It's the Dodo playing a dangerous game. Plus, he's making a lot of noise for Rufar. And we'll wait this one out. I'm not sure. No, Stododo does not
the
seem to be
bomb.
aware of what's taking place. Oh, misses the op shot. So close and gets it nonetheless. I mean, the boys are just jumping around there.
Took me a sort of sweet second to notice that. A little bit stranded, but thankfully they got the kills nevertheless. Thor able to get round at number 5 as SG Pro. Well, they will be down to, again, a further buy round, but money is finally gone. Thor a chance, really, to close out what is a solid comeback, a renaissance into this first half. They can close out this one, a real chance at not just round number 7, maybe 8 as well if it does make a force buy out of SG Pro, but Kisa gets away with the first. Stododo didn't even seem to look ready to take that mid fight. Already a great first entry. Smoked down. Flashbang to force the AWP to sit a little safer. SG Pro stacking toward that toward that A bomb site. 3 players ready, 1 inside of mid. Seems like Saw are mightily aware though. They'll pull back completely off of short, take mid control themselves, maybe through the tunnels and mid split they will go. That is exactly the case, but look at SG Pro. Crossfire from doors and inside of CT. They're ready for what's to come right now. They know exactly what's happening.
Ooh, DeRay so good with those 2 frags. This really does it. Fame also chimes in, and that's the push. DE destroyed. Good kill here from Just. That's all he's gonna get. 5 is the scoreline. And the players here from Saw not having it easy here. I mean, that would have been perfect for them. If they would have secured that round win, they would have essentially broken the economy of SG Pro. A chance for them to win a few more rounds in a row, but right now, it is a purchase though. It's a force buy, if you will. It's not that great because you got pistols, you got some utility though, which is not that bad. Not a very optimal purchase here from Saw. This is surprising that they're having such a difficult time on the T side of does too. For players here in the tunnels, it's pretty obvious what's about to take place here. DeRay just ready and waiting for the players to come in. Loads of them entering the side itself. Fame actually losing a lot of HP right now. And DeRay does find himself the 1 frag. He is in a position to even get a second one. Does go down eventually. The positioning of Just here in CD spawn, just to raid Havoc, is doing a perfect job. And how does it end up being? Saw, of all the rounds they end up winning, are these ones, the wacky rounds, the ones with these sort of force buys or pistols.
Generally, it's kind of looking to a wild first half here, and again, it's seeming like it might just be Thor working their way back into this one. Another 8 and 7 on the horizon for a map like Dust 2. It's not great for Saw. It's not as dominant as we've seen them in the past, let's say, but it's definitely a solid number of rounds if they can finish on 7. We know that DT side as well will be maybe a bit more of a challenge for them, but definitely an opportunity to wrap up a map of their own. You can see the money is pretty much gone here for the side of SG Pro as well. They'll be in, they'll be able to get the M4s, but not a lot else with it really is the worst part. A couple of defuse kits, or single defuse kit actually. AWP into the hands of Kisa, but glass cannoned. It's not a shoddy buy, but it's definitely a weaker one at that. Roman straight out to A long, into pit he will go. Looks for the early frag and, well, does get, actually connects. There you go. Roofire dead. DeRay follows suit. Seeming like this should be an 8 to 7 now.
Oh, I mean, we can see the push going on here on the A-bomb side, but also take a look at what's happening on B. Jeff is deploying so much utility, and the thing is, he was just part of trying to get some sort of elaborate fake in, but the problem is the B side is completely empty. I think he's going to realize that now, because as in a prime position to try and shut down. Oh man, this is perfect for Flame, but it doesn't stop the player, allowing Stododo to cross safely. Just right now, gets a frag on Kisa. That bomb plan is looking imminent, though Senator might just be able to try and stop it as he comes in very quickly through the tunnels. They
Use 9 and 6 at the SG Pro. This is a very solid position to be in right now. They head into the second half, into their T side. It is going to be a bit more of a tricky performance, but the fact that, again, like you say, Saw, they had such a good start, but then everything just goes completely wrong. A 4K from him as well, just showing he is so ready for this. There we go, 9 and 6. SG Pro onto the T side. The very hefty lead that they've gotten at the moment. We'll see what Saw can do to counter this, but it's going to be a very hard half. They've got to really bring out a solid performance now.
There's something to be said about Senator as well. 21 frags right now. Oh my goodness. And now he can be unleashed here in the T side. Is the problem. He's having one of those games. And this is not looking good for Saw. They're being absolutely demolished here. They're trying to win some of these engagements. There's a 1 kill for Muterus. Gets himself a second. Does go down eventually. But the players of SG, they have full control of the bomb side. They know where Just is coming from. And this round becomes incredibly difficult. There would have to be some very big mistakes here from Fame and DeRay in order for Just to get back into this round. Has recovered the defuse kit for his troubles, though. And we do see the peak come through. Sees the head. Does go down. That is also a victory here for SG Pro. Not the start you're looking for if you're Saw.
Not here. This is the CT side now that is taking a bit more of a hit at this point. With the force buy to come, if they lose this one, there is a real chance at sort of 12-6 at a minimum before Saw can start sort of putting the buys on the board. So this is where things might get a little bit more difficult. Senator, confidence is with him, tries to go for the peek out here, does lose majority of his health, but tags into Arky, although, yeah, mightily aware of what was happening right there. Double kill already found as they cross over toward that short position. Materis does get a return, but it's down to a 4-on-2 now. With Kisa already inside of middle, wraps up at least the 1 out of the 2 frags. Materis isolated, 11 and 6 all but confirmed. 12 should be on its way. And SG Pro, barely on one of the, if not the best map for Saw statistically, making them look amateur right now.
The thing is as well, when Saw get to play this map, you'll notice that a lot of times when they win it, they get double digits. That's just how it is. Even when they play against, tougher opposition, when they got to play it in the, an example being in the Blast Premier, when they played against some of the better European teams, they ended up losing those games, sure, but they were relatively close here or there. And the fact is that SG Pro, they're playing so well right now in Dust 2. Winning the second round pistol is obviously a huge bonus, but this is something you don't get to see here. If I end up losing this one, that's going to be a rather frustrating loss here on this second map, because it looked like they might be able to just close it out right here and there. 5-man push, and there's a few kills working out here for Saw, so it's not that bad. The bomb has been dropped, but look at this. SG Pro still managed to get things going their way.
Very nice. 12 and 6, nice and easy. Keeping things up to date as there is a little bit of a, what seems to be technical timeout. Hopefully all is good. Seems like SG Pro, just needing a little bit of a pause. Hopefully all is good on their side, but this one so far is again looking a little bit shaky. CT side, they do have their first gun round. AWP outforced the Dodo, but you can see already that it is no no Kevlar, little bit of utility, no defuse kits at all on that CT side. If the sort of retake becomes a factor, then there is a big issue with timing. SG Pro might just be in with a great chance, but no matter what, really, if Saw do lose this round, they will be on their way to round number 14 on the T side. Game and pause nice and quickly. Kisa with his AWP out, ready to challenge Dodo. We'll see where this round takes us, but SG Pro Very impressed so far. They are really looking like a dream to watch, especially with how good we know that Saw can be, and see where this round takes us. So far, so good. SG Pro on the way to starting the conversation about a third and final map here.
Maybe. It all comes down to this gun round, though. Ooh, that's a good nade. The players, of course, they didn't even back away. They didn't want to give away a sound cue. I've lost a significant amount of HP. That leaves players like Senator and Direct one-shot headshot the M4. That's such a tight angle from Sododo as well. Who sees the player cross, and even better, it's the frag here in Direct.
Finally a kill in the favor of Saw that they can work off of. Especially in the form of an entry. They will need a couple more of these to at least make the round look a little safer. With Dire dead, one of the players that really turned up on Vertigo for SG Pro, keeping them in the game in some of those rounds. This time it is 5-on-4 for the entry. 45 seconds just gone. Going down into CT, but Mutiris, great little read on that position there. Rooffire should be spotted. Very clean round out of this one so far. Keita will take a frag, but I doubt that he really gets too much more out of this as the smoke is down. It will still provide a gap for Mutiris. 12-7, first on the board for the CT side. A very confident round out of them. That even does have an economic effect on SG Pro. Their buy is going to be very minimalistic here, and if Thor can get some rounds in consecutive fashion, they'll find a way back into this game. But first on the board, and a solid start for the CT side. They just need to stay a little bit more consistent now.
See them. That's the start here for Saw. They're gonna have to get a few more rounds than that. An exchange of Hellfire and Long, and Fame has made his way in the pit. The Dodo is holding the angle from the bomb side, I believe. At the very least, he'll keep a close eye of the happenings in Long. And the one smoke grenade, but that's about it. Nothing too significant just yet. And with the bomb carrier also being in Long, you would presume this is the final destination here for SG Pro. It's just that the 4 players are going in for the push, but Kisa is just going to be holding off the flanks. Probably not going to be too impactful in this round, but we'll have to wait and see. SG Pro getting as close as possible to the site itself without really planting the bomb just yet. They should be in position right about now. But this is interesting. I mean, Mutiris is still holding this angle.
Yeah.
No bomb plan just yet. There we go. The bomb plan commences, and Mutiris, will he pounce? He will, but he doesn't see anything just yet, so he's just gonna wait. Oh no! He gets eliminated! Meaning Roman and Just need to pull out the 2v2, make that a 1v2 for Roman. Had a stellar game on Vertigo, but not on this round. 13-7. And oh boy, that's so dissatisfying. The patience that was displayed there didn't win the round for Saw.
Looking like it is Heartbreak City right now for the Portuguese, as the money again. Plus 30, plus another 17 at the end of the pause as well. So it's cheeky, but it's allowed. Just gives them the way to. Position all series long than the one they're in now.
All right, Senator, great way to kick things off in this round. It is though just a mere eco, but you still gotta make sure the opponents have no chances at getting back into a round like this. SG Pro, if you go to the bomb side, the bomb plant will also take place. So with that bomb plant, it's going to be 14 for SG Pro. It's seeming incredibly likely at this point. Peters might be in a position to get a frag or two. Apparently, nope. All he's going to get is a bullet to the dome. Will be 14-7. SG Pro on a considerable effort to secure this second map and potentially put us on a third.
Scary how good they're actually looking at this point. Especially when you look at the sort of map of Train in terms of wins and losses. It's one of those where it's fairly decent for the side of Saw. They've played solid games against the likes of AGS. They did play back in Home Sweet Home as well, like Honoris and Salamander. They've had some solid victories. But then you look at SG Pro as well, and it's one of the maps that is fairly moderate for them. And considering with how they've looked, you know, on a map like Dust 2, when they haven't really played it officially, really. You know, 2 games overall, I think maybe one against Hellraisers or something, and against 16, like 14 or 13 or something, but it's really a map that they don't focus on. For a map like Train, which they do have more experience on, I'm quite worried for Sora coming into this one, but either way, it's a rebuy, it's a solid investment. AWP for Sonodo. Again, it is Glass Cannon, though. And Thinator, he is looking to put the pressure on to mid. Great damage for Just already, as there's the first here. Good return by Roman, but Kisa, it is all falling apart, leaving it in a 4-on-2. A CT flank to wrap up Sonodo. And I think we know where this game's going now. Arky last man alive. Money is gone for the CT side. And it's map point on the way for SG Pro.
No money whatsoever for Saw. That's the depressing thing. Arky's going to try to go for this one. That's going to kill here on DeRay. Is he going to go for the straight up defuse, though? He is actually getting some of these kills here. In fact, I don't think he's going to pull it off. Is he, though?
Oh,
He's
no.
going for the defuse, though. No, not like that. I mean, imagine if Rufar cannot get that kill and Sinator is still just out there la-di-da in T-spawn. That would have been just, ugh.
Thank the Lord that they stayed close, or at least one of them did. Look at this one now, though. So, map point for SG Pro here as, well, it's FAMAS's and a single M4 that praises their setup. Oh dear, this is not good in the slightest. Out towards long they go already. A little bit of an early tag. Senator takes some damage. The FAMAS is raining through though. Oh, but still they get 2 refrags. Arky trying to back away. It's never a good option there. 4-on-2. Sight already lost here. They even cross without the smoke. A little late, but it works out. There it is. Just good return. Down to a 3-on-2 though. Bomb plant will come through despite a nice little nade through the Molotov. That's actually a solid peek there as they catch out one, but well, is just lonely in a 1v3. SG Pro pretty much guaranteeing map number 3.
Absolutely. And there's the finishing move. 16-7. SG Pro managed to secure victory in the second map, putting us on the third map of Train.